At some point, all of us have played Minecraft, a legendary game that has managed to stay relatively active over time, with numerous updates that added content, which used to come every few months or once a year, bringing massive amounts of new features. Though recently, they shifted to smaller updates with less content but much more frequent releases. They have also been releasing merchandise outside of the game itself, like toy lines with brands such as Lego. Additional content includes an independent story-driven game, an interactive animated series on Netflix based on the game, and now the upcoming release of Minecraft the movie. By the way, the day the trailer dropped, the internet was flooded with memes, jokes, and comments about how bad and ugly the trailer looked, past and present. Minecraft first saw the light of day on May 17th, 2009, but it wasn't until late 2011 that its first complete and official version, 1.0, was released. Since that initial launch, Minecraft has gone through thousands of updates, bringing tons of content and changes to gameplay. Some examples include the addition of dungeons in the 2022 Caves and Cliffs update, and changes to combat mechanics, which now include stamina and shields, forcing players to stop spamming clicks to quickly kill mobs. However, these super revolutionary updates have become a thing of the past. Nowadays, most updates focus on bug fixes or adding small amounts of content, with some exceptions like major updates that get their own announcements. A few years ago, they also introduced Realms, a paid service that allows players to have their own private servers, which stay open and available even when the owner isn't online. Another important point in Minecraft's present, and possibly its future, is that the developers lied to the community about release dates and content for upcoming major updates. At first glance, these updates promised to be revolutionary, but ended up being just minor additions with little excitement. Near future. I believe that, at least in the near future, let's say over the course of this year, Minecraft's future looks relatively promising. With some new dates on the horizon and the movie about to premiere, starring Jack Black no less, it's likely to be a box office success. So it's very probable that the updates following the movie's release will be related to it, whether it's new content or skins of the movie characters sold as paid packs, because yes, Minecraft sells skins of just about anything in its online store. But recently, they announced something that many people had been waiting for, a section to better listen to user suggestions, ideas, and complaints. They're also removing the mob vote, which was long overdue. They're also planning to improve and expand on minecarts, which have been overshadowed by elytra wings, the best option for long distance travel, or horses. The obvious downside of minecarts is having to manually place every rail and figure out when to use regular rails versus powered rails. But now, let's dive into the stronger points of what I, based on my experience as a player and community requests, think that they should add. I believe that they should add more ambient sounds. Imagine this. For a second, you're walking through a forest, hearing the sounds of leaves rustling in the wind, the soft crunch of your footsteps on the grass. At night, you'll hear natural ambient sounds of the wilderness. It's simple, yet wonderful. Something that would undoubtedly make the Minecraft experience much more immersive. It could also add other things, like new animals. Far future. This time frame, I define roughly as 2 to 8 years into the future. During this period, many major updates could be released, addressing issues that the community has been demanding for a long time. One of these issues is undoubtedly the lack of a new dimension. The closest that we've gotten to that were the updates to the End in 2016 and the Nether update in 2020. While these revitalized the game and added really interesting content, especially the Nether update, they become a bit outdated, and the game feels monotonous again in that regard. With the creation of a new dimension, or multiple if we're lucky, we'd obviously see more additions like new blocks, tree species, creatures, enemies, and new bosses. Adding new bosses would give Minecraft more narrative depth, as currently we only have the Ender Dragon and the Wither, though the latter is practically forgotten and almost slipped my mind. Adding new items, minerals, and armor sets would also open up endless possibilities for expansion. Imagine how epic battles against a giant knight or a minotaur in a ruined castle could be, whether as a final boss fight or a secondary boss encounter. I mean, this could take Minecraft to a whole new level, something never before seen in the franchise. And I'm talking about real updates, not just implementing mods that already exist in the game store, which you have to pay to use, like Twilight's Forest or Tinker's Construct. Alternatively, if they don't add new dimensions, they could give the End a proper update. Its last update was in 2016, which only added a few things like new structures, chests, and blocks made from existing materials. I think that the End could use a revamp similar to what the Nether got. Right now, the only thing interesting there is the Ender Dragon fight, and that's about it. As an extension to the End, I'd have several new mobs, new items like armors and weapons, and remove the Ender Dragon from the start. Instead, players would have to complete certain requirements or perform a ritual to summon it, similar to how the Wither works. Now, let's look further to the future. A distant future which completely unexpected things could happen. The Infinite. This point can be defined as 10 years or more into the future. The new features that could be added to Minecraft are almost indefinable at this stage. By this point, it's almost 100% certain that there will be multiple new dimensions, new bosses, and all the other things that we've already mentioned. I think, specifically at this stage of the game, there's not much more to predict or add regarding possible updates. What's more likely is that in addition to more and more content for Minecraft itself, they continue releasing external content. Things like sequels to the Minecraft movie, a prequel telling the backstory and origin of Steve, played by Jack Black, spin-offs of the movie, or the game itself, adding various characters or exploring the lore of characters like the Enderman or the Wither. They could also expand the game's lore with series or movies about the Nether, the End, and similar themes. And they could continue releasing standalone games like Minecraft Dungeons, giving more depth to Minecraft's lore. Now, I know it might sound repetitive, but the possibilities for expansion are truly endless, given the game's versatility and adaptability. Not to mention that if they create massive official online servers, either roleplay style or more like a standalone RPG, I mean, that would be absolutely incredible, thus adding new narratives. My ideas for these servers is that they would be RPG style, with NPCs giving quests, requiring players to gather resources to craft new weapons or upgrade existing ones. Without adding a specific story, the story would be created by the players themselves, with their friends and hundreds of others on the same server. It would be magical to walk through the paths of a medieval village when suddenly a group of enemy players raid the town, and you can take it upon yourself to defend it. The only limit is the imagination. This idea would add years to Minecraft's lifespan, but I see it as very unlikely, which is why I consider it more of a long-term possibility. Final reflection. Despite being nearly 14 years old, Minecraft is a game that has managed to stay active over time, with its highs and its lows. It remains widely played till to this day, and as we've seen, it has a lot of potential and a long road ahead, so we'll have Minecraft around for a long time to come. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos.